Back at it again here, OTing it for July of 2025. BTP OT. I'm Matt. He's Eric. That's Sam who did the music. Thank you again, Sam. Yeah. Dulcet tones. Not even going to turn the sound down. Just going to talk right over it. So yeah, there you go. Hi, Eric. How are you?
I am wonderful. Happy Friday.
Yeah, Friday afternoon as we're recording this here. It is we have we should have like a session that's just like parking and weather or something like that, where we just talk about like what's going on. I don't know about you down in Kansas City, but here in Omaha, it has significantly cooled down, which I am loving. So
Oh, yes, my daughter and I had quite the disagreement earlier where she was like, this is not good. And I'm like, this is awesome, and you need to learn that it's awesome.
yeah, I don't mind 100 or 105 or 98 degrees, or in sync, for a couple of weeks during the middle of summer. But I mean, it seemed like this almost the entire month of June and July were that for us. I don't know about you guys, but
Yeah, um we had a big like outdoor kind of project kickoff thing on
um,
Wednesday here. And everyone that came into town said, we looked at the weather last week and we were really worried about this being outside
yeah,
because it was like 105 last week.
miserable. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so this morning, when I drove to the gym this morning at 6 a.m., it was like 62 degrees and it was like legit chilly. I was like, oh, maybe I should grab like a sweater, or what is that?
Yeah.
The best date is it April 24th? Because all I need is a light jacket. So I think that's what the date is. Somebody will correct me, either April 24th or something like that. But yeah. All right. We're here to talk about the episodes that were released in July. We had five, sorry, episodes this month, starting on the 2nd of July, which was episode 260. Why would he be in a trivia game? This is the one that was hosted by me and featured Coach Phil Sanford. Or wait, Phil was a player. Oh, that's right. I was. Yeah, that's right. Okay, yeah, yeah. But Phil's gonna come and host here in September or October. I can't remember. Yeah, he's got a game coming up. Then episode 261, which is Only Person Who Went to New Mexico, featuring Aston Owings, and that had Eric Eid as the host on that one. And if I recall correctly, he did not have a haiku on that one, so always positive. 262, Smoking Ex-Girlfriend, featuring assistant coach Josh Snyder. This starts our Josh Snyder run for the month of July for the Benchwarmers BTP. This one was hosted by Deluxe. And then the next episode was the Me Team Martin, which was hosted by Josh Snyder, which featured him as I just said that, the host. Then we're going to wrap it up here in July with on the 30th of July, we had dropped Too Much Bomb Back, which had guest Jake Freudenberg, and Taco was the host of that. So let's start off with episode 260. Again, this was my annual or semi-annual maybe hosting of episodes. We'll see if I can do two this year or not. We'll see. But yeah, I didn't take a lot of notes in this one because I wrote it, so I don't really know. I wrote down Bugsy Mogs is just as short in person as you'd think, because I think Phil said that he's run into him a few times, and
Yeah,
in
like just
the
around Charlotte. Yeah.
just generally around Charlotte, yeah. Um, and Eid, this was the one where Eid really kind of leaned into the Cheryl,
Stoops.
Cheryl. What is her real name?
Swoops.
Swoops
Yes.
as Cheryl Scoops. Yeah. So, uh,
Cheryl
yeah,
Scoops and Coral Yastrzemski,
Coral. That's right. Yeah.
which made me laugh a lot.
Oh yeah, which there was an episode, we're gonna get to it later here, episode 264, where I got to a yeah, we can talk when we get to it, but yeah, it had the choral one made me think of it from Rick Grimes.
Oh
Um
yeah.
yeah, so I thought this was a good episode. I mean, I wrote it obviously, so I don't really um I don't remember a ton about it except writing it, I guess.
Well,
Having a
Marcus
brain
made his
spot.
push for the new Utah hockey team to be called the Soakers,
The Soakers, yep.
which, while hilarious to the rest of the United States, probably didn't go doesn't go over as well
Not gonna
in
quite
the
fly in Utah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
this is the one where I did the franchises that have moved, and I
right.
had like 17 different caveats in it. So
That's all right. They were a good caveat. You managed to explain or like pre-explain yourself out of
some
potential
craziness.
conflicts, right?
Yeah,
We had
but I
a
think.
we had like a conflict on a recording the other night, and we had to like go back and re-record something and whatever. It's like, no, let's
Oh,
just get
really?
this out of the way. Yeah. It,
Oh, that was the one that Taco sent me a
yeah.
message and said he's going to record the third. He's going to edit the third
Yeah.
quarter because he screwed
Yes.
something up. So.
Yep. Yeah. So
I
we're
don't
good.
mind with
Yeah.
you guys. I don't know about you, how often you host, but when the other guys host, like Taco and Josh and David, they seem like they host probably like once a month or so. They're so doing it so frequently that I'm like, you guys can screw up all you want. I don't care. I don't have anything to complain about when I only host once or twice a year.
Yeah. I haven't hosted in a while. I guess I need to get one
I need
on
to
because
get
I've
on
had
that.
one in the hopper for a little bit that I just haven't got out. They fill up the hosting slots like
So
immediately.
yeah, there's a little trick to the trade. Is that whoever expands out the calendar usually
Yeah.
usually just goes ahead and enters their name in as quickly as possible, and it doesn't leave a lot of space open. So kind of weird. But anything else about 260 that you remember?
The scrota or
Oh,
scrotums.
that's right. Yeah.
Well done.
Um, Lux brought me that question about Rhode Island School of Technology. Rhode Island.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
God, we have really sullied poor David's mind, haven't we? Like,
He came to us so pure and
he
innocent, and
did.
now we've corrupted him so badly.
Thank you. Yeah, welcome, David. Um, thanks for joining this side. And then we did have I think it was a Sammy Sosa reference, a White Sox Sammy Sosa reference. Because I
Yes.
think it was something about the Hall of Fame. And I just wanted to mention that he should be in the Hall of Fame for Jerry curl because that hairstyle he had with the White Sox is top notch.
He
Absolutely
did. He
beautiful.
should be in the Hall of Fame along with Michael Jackson for people who were not white that turned themselves white,
They bleached
bleached
themselves.
themselves or something like that. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Did you like my fourth quarter where all of the categories were about college mascots?
Yeah, I did.
It's like college sports, college sports, college sports, college.
We had a lot of mascot questions in this one because well, we'll get to one in the Josh Schneider episode, but
Hmm.
there was an entire round on mascots for that as well. So it was a good month for mascot questions.
It was, yeah. I mean, I wrote it, but I remember being in Vegas and seeing the Jaime Calian, how do you say his last name? Jaime
Candelario.
Candelario, thank you.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that and thinking, I rarely get the inspiration to, write a question. I'm like, Rio, I could write a question. Candelario, I could write a question about the Rio games, like de Janeiro. And then I thought, oh, I'm going to put it in halftime. I'm going to do Rio the movie and really tick off Eid because I knew he was going to be on the episode. And I'm like, that's really going to tick him off because who was the one who really didn't like the Jermichael Finley? I forget
Oh, I'm
who's like,
sure he did
I thought it
really
was
didn't
Eid or
like it.
somebody. Yeah, I
Yeah.
forget who it was, but yeah. So that I figured, and then that's where the title of the episode came up. Why would that guy be in a trivia game? So, which
Yeah,
is
I'm
funny
pretty
because
sure.
now isn't he having like a really good year, and
Yeah. Yeah.
he's like killing it with the Reds, right?
And he had I think he was the impetus behind the episode name too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah,
So
let's
he's
see.
gone to prove everyone wrong. I mean, because I think it was
Right.
Scott that's the one who said that. Why is he in this game?
He's got
Or
about
wait,
20
wasn't
home
Scott?
runs.
Marcus? Yeah.
So yeah, he's playing pretty well.
Yeah. All right. Anything else on 260 on your notes?
Nope. I look forward to Phil's game coming up in October. Be
Yeah.
fun.
So I think it's gonna be basketball centric.
I know I need to
Or if
brush
not
up if I'm gonna
basketball,
be
it'll
on
have
that.
something to do with the Toledo Mud Hens, I assume. So that's it. Or no, wait,
Or long
no,
distance
the
running.
was that?
Or long distance running.
Yeah. Is it Toledo? Which one is his yeah. Oh, he went to school in Ohio or something like that. Akron or something. Zips?
Yeah,
I
what it
forget.
was who had the NIT, the
Oh no,
celebration
that's
at
right. He
the
went to Seton
NIT?
Hall.
Seton Hall, yeah.
Well, now this BTP OT is getting to be too much Philip Sanford, so we'll move on. Okay. Episode 261, which dropped on what was that, the 9th of July. This was one person who went to New Mexico, which had equipment manager Austin Owings on. Ede hosted this one. This one was Austin and David versus Scott and Taco. Here are the notes that I have on this one. I got a whole bunch on this one. Okay, so right off the bat, Ede hosting this one. Um, why are we talking about if Han did or did not shoot first? I'm still confused as to why this is a debate. I thought that was proven a long time ago, but okay. This is because like one of the comments at the beginning was something about Han shooting first. I'm like, okay, I thought that was done with, but all right.
No.
Scott got the night off from softball because there was a drive-by shooting. But then the league manager called back afterwards and said like everything's clear so we can play it. And he's like, "Nah, I think we're good." I'm like, "No."
Look, if I know anything about adult leagues, it's that they have a very finite amount of time that they can squeeze the league in. So,
Right.
like, as long as the dead body was cleared, they were probably like, yeah, we could probably get back out on the field now. I don't want to have to reschedule this damn thing.
Oh. Okay, so Ede comes out very strong in the first quarter with his anti-Dak talk yet for like the 7,000th time. I think almost every single question was something about him disliking Dak. Okay, we get it, dude. We get it. So yeah. Um we had some more ranker.com stuff. Big old ugh on that, really? Okay. All right. Um uh Yeah, so twice in this episode, David said the oldest things that have ever been said on the podcast. One was that actress who was in One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. I forget her name, but anyway.
It's too old.
Um,
It's too old a reference for me. Sorry.
yeah. Then I wrote down Dak's job is making Ede unhappy. I forget what that was about.
I don't know, but it could have been one of
A
almost every
trillion
question
things.
in the
Yeah.
entire
Yep.
game.
And see, I mean, I don't want to make this into a naked bootleg, but I mean, I get that he's frustrated with Dak, and it's like, but I mean, I don't know. He's not that bad. He's just not good. He's just not, but
That's exactly right. That is about it. And I'd say without, like you said, without getting too deep into a naked bootleg, um, he's okay.
yes, he's very adequate.
He's okay unless he's in the playoffs, and then he's garbage until it doesn't matter, and
True.
then he's okay. Like go back and look at the stats for the Green Bay game, and he threw
Hmm.
for like 475 yards. Oh my God, you almost brought him back. It's like Green Bay was literally just sitting down on the field for the whole second half and letting him throw it wherever he wanted,
I mean, they
so
put
they
in the
could get it.
backup quarterback in the fourth quarter, and then
Yeah,
the Cowboys scored two touchdowns, and it was like, okay, we
it,
gotta
yeah,
get a love
it,
back in.
yeah. It was yeah. So there's your naked bootleg.
There you go.
Everybody have a happy football.
And speaking of things that frustrate, well, no, this frustrates me, but Ede seems to love it. I'm the Weird Al lyrics thing. I mean, I hope that's done with soon because
I
this one wasn't bad. These ones I could get to, but there was one he recorded here the other night or a couple weeks ago where I was like, dude, I mean, unless it's Bomback, nobody knows these things. I mean, that one he read the entire thing, and the only reason he got it is because he basically told us what it was, you know?
yes, and I so like I didn't really mean that he had figured out a way to just try to get Weird Al
Mm.
into
Oh
every
no.
halftime, but that's a 100% appears to be what it is. And I have on here like it was a great missing link, and then just a straight up punt, like instant punt for 2 rounds.
Oh, funny.
So
I think it was Scott, right, who came up with the Tampa Bay Toucaneers. Uh,
yes,
and then there was a
true.
multiple references to that for the rest of the episode. And then there was a double oldest thing that looks what he was talking about somebody being the director of the Boston Pops. Oh my God. I mean, seriously, dude. Who knows the direct? Okay. And then somebody made the comment. I believe somebody said something like, this is, what do you think Mason's on this episode?
Yes, that I believe. Yeah, he accused Mason of listening to the episode,
Yeah,
which we all
exactly.
know is true. Um,
Um, all of Lux's action figures are Bob Berry, right? Because
yeah, yeah, that was a callback to halftime.
yeah, it was. Yeah.
Uh,
Were you gonna say
and
something about the Boston Pops or something?
oh no, I was gonna say it's not. It's surprising that Lux would know it, but also we've been really trying to up our listenership in the 75 to 90 um, age bracket because it's been really low. So those kind of references really
He's, I
help bring
mean, he
that in.
brings a lot to the table when it comes to the BTP group,
Yeah,
and hitting that age demographic is great for him.
it does. Yeah,
The age demographic I hit are the people who are already passed away.
he
So,
gets us a lot closer to being allowed a collective senior discount at movies.
yeah, exactly. We need to have like a generic code wherever you go at like IHOP or something like that. It's the code
Yes.
BTP to get your senior 10% discount. So,
Is this where we were first introduced to Dobo's Delights? Or is that a
uh,
later
oh,
episode?
was it?
I
Was
couldn't
there?
remember if it was this one or if it was one of the later ones
Oh, was it
when
this
Eric
one?
said, "Hey, yeah, I got this new Hungarian bakery."
Yes, because Austin lives near there. That's right.
Yes.
Oh, wait, no, 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 no. No, it was the Jake, it's episode
Oh,
264, the Jake
okay.
Freudenberg one. So yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yep, Eid was in that one. Okay. All right, let's wrap up the last things I have here on this episode. I have all of Lux action figures. We talked about that. A whole lot of Jets quarterback misery, right? And
Oh
a
my
lot of
God, that was
it's
awful.
amazing
That
how
was
much Mark
so bad.
Sanchez flack is thrown out there. That poor guy. I mean, not his fault that dude's butt ran into his face. What am I doing here with my
No,
text messages?
I believe the quote which I have written down from Taco, which was my favorite quote of the episode, was the butt shouldn't have been there.
Yeah, yep. Eid has a has to choose. Oh, yes, right. Eid had a choose your own adventure fourth quarter question. That was interesting, right? Because there was a book about a choose. Wait, now where did that come from? I forget.
This the no, this isn't the one with the different F1 tracks. That's a later episode,
No,
right?
yeah, that's
Um,
that was Taco with his fourth quarter
oh yeah, with the European taco.
am I thinking of? Oh my gosh, a continent. Yeah.
Right.
I said David throws shade at Austin in the fourth quarter, calling the Ravens sad, right? Because there was a reference to Jets being sad in the fourth quarter. And then David thinks that Mark Sanchez isn't a good guy? Question mark. So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, Scott was like, yeah, I think Scott had either like seen him somewhere and he waved, or he had met him in passing, and he was like, he's just like the nicest dude. Um, I guess David
Not a good guy.
not willing to even entertain it.
Interesting.
It's
Do you
a
have any?
weird guy to be like hateful of. You gotta at this point you gotta feel bad for the guy. Like,
Yeah.
although
Anything
I'm
else
sure
on
he's doing
261
okay.
for you?
Nothing else on 261 for me. There was this was a fun episode, but Eid, we need you to step it up at the halftime. That's about it.
We need Ed to step it up
Well, at halftime,
to
the
not do
yeah, I
to do
challenge
something
you,
other
Eric Eid, to
challenge. There you go. He
five
doesn't listen to
episodes in
these
a row.
shows. That's fine.
Oh, all right.
I don't think he listens to the regular episodes, let alone listen to the OT. So,
That's right, because we tried to accuse him of it last time, and he leaned into it with two straight episodes
right?
afterwards. So,
Exactly. All right. Well, let's move on to episode 264. 264 was Smoking Ex-Girlfriend, which featured Josh Snyder and as a guest, Lux was the host. It had Eden, Josh versus Josh Bombeck and Scott. See the notes that I have. David tones down his questions and lobs a softball in question Q1. Everyone gets confused by that, assuming that David's going to come out of the gate with something hard, and it's just a nice little softball. So I like
that
that.
that was really funny when Scott was, or I think it was Scott and Josh later on in the game, were debating whether or not their power to beat Eric Eid in these type of games was only from the times when David used to write ridiculously hard games,
Yeah.
or if they still translated to the easier games that David has been putting together.
I don't remember who did win this one.
They did. The Scott and Josh did end up winning this game
Okay.
yet
Yeah,
again, proving yet again that the missing link is Eric Eads' kryptonite
it
when it
is.
comes
Yes.
to winning.
I have Ede throws shade on Chase. Is it Budiger?
Well, depends on how you which side of the coin you were on in this
Yeah.
episode, because he was saying Budinger, I believe,
Yeah.
which is can't be right, and it's Budinger or Budinger, um, but it
How
is
do you
not whatever it is. It's not the way David pronounced it. Is what I'm saying.
Budinger? I don't even American. Oh, the beach volleyball guy. Oh, that's
Yes,
right.
the former Arizona
Um,
standout.
yeah, he called him ugly numerous times throughout the episode. So I was like, okay, Ede, sure, yeah, you can keep calling the dude ugly, but sure. Um, I said I wrote down my notes. I hate to credit Lux, but dance moves themes in the missing link was very fun. I like that
It
one.
was, yes.
I thought that was awesome.
We had a lot of missing links in this as well. I believe every episode in this month had a missing
I
link.
think you might be right. Let me look back here. Missing link, missing link, missing link, missing link. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and I would say in the ranking of this month's missing links, it's a close race for first between the dance moves and the occupations of the episode
Oh
before.
wait, the first one, the one that July 2nd that I hosted, I didn't have a missing
Oh, you
link,
didn't
so it
have a
was just
missing link.
4 out of 5 that we had. Yeah. Yes, I like this one. I also like the one the taco had the missing link that we'll talk about here in a little while. That I thought that was pretty good too. But
Oh yeah, that was that was a good one. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
okay, so then what else do I have in here? Josh Schneider is going to start a Jewish trivia podcast. I like that idea. So go for it, Josh. It's like, sure.
J
Might as well
J
lean into it, man. Might as well go for it.
JAQ the podcast.
There you go. Yeah. Okay. What other notes do you have from this episode?
Let's see. I'm going through my notes here. I love Eric's waffling fandom around the Orlando Magic.
Yes.
He either is a fan or he's not a fan. He can't decide. Um,
Didn't he put it out
he
there that he was like taking applications for other teams that he would, other basketball
I
teams that he would cheer for?
Yes, and I've tried to get him. He said he tried to root for the Mavericks, but he couldn't, and he never really gave a good explanation. So I will not be submitting another application for that. Um, let's see. Oh, his yes, they're his ex-girlfriend that may or may not be smoking. But that he will find out that she is smoking after. That was pretty dang funny. Um, oh,
Um,
and this is what kicked off. This is the episode that kicked off. Like Ede is just, he's like a fiend. He's got to have a thing.
mhm.
And so we have been 9 months into the year, 8 months into the year, where we have avoided herpes talk. But
Yes.
now we are all about ticks in taints
Hmm.
because of this.
Oh,
Although the
was this
idea of
episode was the one that kicked it
this is
off?
yeah, this is when they kicked it off because this is one where he said he saw a guy just walk in with a giant tick on his neck, and then he was like,
Oh,
"Yeah,
okay.
now check your taint for
But he talked
ticks."
about ticks before being in the house, and that's what started off, I think.
Oh, okay.
And
Well,
by the
this
way, this it has not been that long that we talked about herpes because I know that when I had shingles in the spring, I was on Valtrex and we talked about herpes then too. So it's been only a few months, I
okay,
think,
all right. We broke
max.
our
So
streak.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
All right, well, that's all I had from 262, and you have so I think we can move on to episode 263. This one was hosted by Josh Snyder. It was me, Team Martin. If I recall correctly, that was like the very first question in the episode. Josh
yes.
was the host, and it had Taco and Scott versus Marcus and myself. The notes that I have are uh, Taco and Scott are soccer referees who seem to know nothing about the sport.
Yes.
Just with
Scott
flagrant red cards for no reason. So.
Scott just said it. He like just I can just picture Scott kind of sitting out on a soccer field, letting the kids run around and just drop kick each other and not whistling because he's like, I don't know, I'm not getting paid enough for that.
Yeah, exactly. This was a David versus Goliath, which if I recall correctly, Josh did opposite. It was Goliath versus David, because he thought that David had more cunning and skill, so those should be harder, and Goliath was just a big dumb oaf or something. So,
Yeah, of course, the small Jewish guy is his hero in that story.
so yeah, I love that mascot one. I was on this episode? Was I? No, but I listened to it. I edited it. I forget. Did I edit that? Oh no, David. I did the missing link on that one in quarter three. Okay. Curriculum vitae or curriculum mortis was hilarious in this one. I thought that was fun. Uh,
We had a Hall of Fame
oh wait,
Marcus
I was on
rant.
this episode. Sorry. Yes. Oh, that's right.
It was
That's this episode.
totally
Yes, yes,
unhinged
yes.
Marcus rant,
I
but Taco
loved
left the whole thing in.
the second Lynn Swan came up from those guys talking about him with potential being having like records and stuff like that. I could just see the smoke building off of Marcus's ears. Like, oh, I can't wait to hear this rant. It's going to be amazing. Hmm.
He just couldn't wait for them to check in to just launch
Yeah, and he
into
did not disappoint. That was awesome. And then Taco basically said, "Go for it, man. This is the quarter that I edit, so you go ahead and do it. That's fine."
I'm leaving that whole thing in, and I'm just gonna spam the whistle. I think what he came up with.
If I recall
Uh,
correctly, the curriculum mortis was specifically written by Josh Schneider to be in my wheelhouse because it was all old people or something like that. And that's
yes,
when the
this is where
first,
we came up with the character of Randy Shays, which I thought was Dolph's illegitimate child that lived
yes,
in a trailer park.
yep. We also discredited anything and everything Ty Cobb's ever done because he didn't have many
You have
Twitter
Instagram
followers.
followers, yes.
Yeah, what a nerd. He says, yeah, but how many Twitter followers does Ty Cobb have? Nerd. This was also, I think, in the fourth quarter where we talked about Claude Provolone for the hockey question that Scott had, and also we talked about Sloth's Curry. I
I'm
don't remember that
trying.
one, but I remember that it was a Steph Curry question, but it was something about sloths, or maybe that autocorrect me, it was something else, but yeah, I don't remember exactly, but yeah.
Josh
And then the
does a
missing
great.
link was the mascot one, but I'm blanking on what was
Josh,
the
yeah, we need
what
to
was
start like that's what we need to start doing is putting the missing link
themes.
theme
Oh,
in the sheet.
but he's got the themes in here in a different document somewhere
Okay.
on our spreadsheet or something. Anyway,
David, in an old and true old man fashion, has started to catalog everything for us.
okay, well, yeah, of
Um,
course.
because everything must be neatly organized and in card in like a I picture that David actually has like one of those library card things that he just puts a question in
Hmm.
alphabetical order every time we do a new question, and he gets really mad that he has to put it into a spreadsheet afterwards.
Well, I don't know if I think he is still cataloging all of our questions for everything. I thought we had a spreadsheet here that was about missing link themes. Maybe it's somewhere else, but yeah. Yeah, so that was episode 263. Do you have any other notes on this one?
No, other than Josh Schneider, come host whenever you want.
Yes,
You
I
do a
love
great
this
job.
show. Yep,
Absolutely great.
couldn't agree more. All right, moving on to episode 264, the last one of July here. This one was too much Bomback. This one had Taco as the host and had Scott teamed up with Jake Frudenberg, who had joined whatever it was, like episode like whatever 24 or something
This is a
early
20, it
on.
was 4 years.
Yep.
I think it was almost exactly 4 years before.
And then it was those two versus Eid and myself. Here are, oh wait, I didn't take notes on this one. That's right, because I just listened to it this morning and I was on the episode too. Uh, so yeah, let me see what notes I have on my sheet here.
So this is our we have a great like a simple but effective missing link in this one. When you the orange
Yes.
things.
And I will die on the hill. I'm surprised I didn't put that on my notes. Maybe I did. Did I start taking notes and I didn't send it to myself? Because what I do, I have a text thread where I start taking notes. Oh, I did. Oh, and that's all I did was just that one. I said missing link of orange. When orange juice is yellow, I will die on that hill. Orange juice is not orange. So
Well, this is a new political stance that I didn't know you had.
it's very controversial.
It's the old debate of what color is the sun.
That's a good question. Yeah. What color is the sun?
I don't know. According to my child's book, The Day the Crayons Ran Away, it could be either yellow or orange.
Oh, interesting. I do in the first quarter the David versus Goliath that have a reference to WWF Commissioner Jack Tunney. I love
Yeah.
that one because if you recall correctly, the famous Macho Man cream of the crop rant. You know that one?
Yeah.
Okay. So the one that's like where triviality I was goes the cream of the crop.
Hmm.
That's from that rant, and that rant is Macho Man going after Jack Tunney,
Oh.
President Jack Tunney, yeah. So I know that name only because of that. But this one was also the one where I got to Ricky Houghton because we were talking. He'd made some sort of reference to the only people he knows named. No, he said something about a British name. He's looking for a British name, and he said that British actor uh
The
from The
Walking
Walking
Dead.
Dead. And I said like I couldn't think of the actor's name, so I said Rick, the guy who played Rick. I said, "What, Rick? Yeah, Ricky, that's it." Yep. So,
The guy
uh
who got like knocked out cold on his feet by Manny Pacquiao in one of the most vicious. Like it is still easily one of the most vicious boxing knockouts in a big fight I've ever seen. If you
I'll have
don't,
to go
if you
back.
haven't
I
seen
don't
it,
really know anything about this guy. I just all I knew
yeah,
is I knew the name. I pulled the name.
he was notorious. So I want to say like 2010s, like early 2010s. He kind of
Okay.
made it up through the ranks. Um, he was notorious for putting on just an absolute ton of weight in between fights and then
Oh,
coming
really?
back down and fighting middleweight.
And then
So
cutting
yeah,
big time, yeah.
and he won some titles. Then he fought Pacquiao, um, and Pacquiao just destroyed him,
Hmm.
knocked him out cold. And after that, I think he might have fought like one or two more like big fights. Um, and other than that, he just kind of fell off the radar. He was a big Manchester City guy. He used to come down and light blue everything and to Blue Moon. It was quite the show. So that actually,
Um.
I had that one before I had David. Like I knew that
Oh,
one
yeah.
right away from the golfer and the and Ricky had, and that was one of those wheelhouse ones for me.
I did think it was hilarious that Scott thought that Walt and Joe Frazier were the same person. That was awesome.
Walt and Clyde are the same.
What's that?
I said Walt and Clyde are the same, but
Walt
not
and
Walt
Clyde
and
are the
Joe.
same person. Oh, there you go. I did think it was funny. The second or the third question, David versus Goliath, was the Golden Boot Award winner from the 2006, 2016 World
Yeah,
Cup, whichever like World Cup that Mueller didn't win the what Germany won. That was 16, right?
yeah.
When did they win?
Was that Brazil? Yes.
Is it the anyway? Point is that so that one threw everyone off trying to think of a baseball player whose last name was Mueller. A ton of them, all those German pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Yes.
The I did think it was hilarious that Scott got a WNBA question wrong and Ed and I got it right. Come on, right? There wasn't a lot of recognition in the episode of that, but I mean, I don't have a lot to go on when it comes to getting questions right, but and I'm not trying to throw shade on Scott, but I'm like, man, how did I get that right and he didn't? That seems anyway. What did we do? The halftime was oh yeah,
The
was
David Lux or Lavid Duck's Memorial Episcopalian pre and post game.
he talked about this is the second reference to Bombeck because Bombeck made he called it the smushing when you take the names together and you smush them
Yes.
together, and that was pretty cute. I thought that was funny.
I it
Um,
I think it's funny too, like so the episode name is Too Much Bombeck. And I
mhm.
didn't even think about it until about like halfway through the episode that the episode name was Too Much Bombeck and Josh wasn't even on the episode.
Yeah. I know. And then Josh listened to the raw audio, right? And he said,
Yeah.
like, I'm only referenced like once or twice. And I'm like, did you listen to the whole thing? We referenced you like 4 or 5 times. Or maybe not that many, but whatever it was. I thought it was funny.
And
Third quarter with the Flap Turner River was the initialed first names or monikers or whatever you want to call them with EJ
mhm.
Manuel, AC Green, and JD Drew. AC Green, I love how it was the river that was having to do with not having sex until he got married. Of course, that's how everyone knows AC Green, right?
Yeah, and I
Is he
went
a
up
Hall
to
of Famer?
see. No, he's not. I went so after I was listening to this, I immediately had to go to Wikipedia and be like, okay, when did he actually get married? And
He's in his
he
30s,
got
I think.
it was in 2002. He was 40 plus, I think. So yeah, he that guy, man, talk about willpower.
And
Um,
talk about me not believing that that's was what actually what happened, but
oh, the
that's fine.
story of them like sending a girl up to his room when he was a rookie just to try to get him to break. Um, that's on his Wikipedia page as well, by the way. So it's got to be true if it's on
Mhm.
Wikipedia. We had an Oliver Miller reference. I would like to just point out the fact that my mom and Oliver Miller's mom used to work together.
Oh, really? Hmm.
Yeah, and I used to see him. So he was from Fort Worth,
Okay.
and he used to always, like in the off season, he would be at the mall that I worked at when I was a kid, and he would take the escalator and he would take up like the whole width of the escalator. He was a massive, massive human being. Like
Hmm.
to see it, I mean, he was like an offensive lineman playing basketball. It was insane.
Um, yeah, sorry, I got a text from the kid. So, um, the Oliver Miller. I don't even, and the name sounds familiar, but I don't even know where did he go to school? Where did he play?
Oh man, I don't even remember where he went to college, but I know he played for the Suns. That he was with the Suns for a while. The year that they lost to the Bulls in the final,
Oh, in the 90s. Okay, sure.
yeah, he was with them.
What else did we have here? The fourth quarter. Oh, we have Pedro Stojakovic, the in the whatever that was, the All-Star game in the 90s or something like that, or the early 2000s.
Yeah.
We also had the auto racing. This was the Tacos fourth quarter where it was all about European stuff.
hmm
I don't know how I picked up that Monza.
Monza, yeah, that
I
was a great
didn't
pull.
listening to it again today. I didn't know the answer. I knew it then because it was like literally a week or a couple of days before Triviality had a question about this on their show. That's the only reason I knew it.
I so the two answers there were Monza, which makes sense phonetically, and Imola. And Imola, I swore had like seven letters in it. So when he said it had five, I was like, all right, well, I apparently have no idea how to
Gonna
spell
say,
that.
Eid, what are you doing over there?
Yeah, I know, right? My fives and sevens all mixed
He's like,
together.
can we count the numbers here? Let's count the numbers again. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like
Um,
Monza. Make sure you count that again. It's five.
and so I don't know about you guys, but I have a stupid rabbit hole that I go into once every couple of months. There is a YouTube account where it just talks about like sports and the rules of the sports, right? And so like bandy, and these kind of like random sports that are big, like handball, that are big in other parts of the world, but we know nothing about them in the US kind of a deal.
Right.
And so that Finnish sport, what's it called?
Oh,
Ponsball or Pons, whatever it's called. It
Yeah, it
sounds like
started with a
baseball
P.
kind of a deal, and it's like a baseball derivative. I've
Sounds like
seen
Calvin Ball.
so many videos on that, and that's why I knew that one right away when Taco first started talking about it. I was like, "That's Finland. I know that one." Like, drop dead. I mean, and then the Ajax question, which was next. It's like, I mean, it's like, dude, was this fourth quarter written specifically for me? Except for the NBA question, which I didn't know, Peja Stojakovic or who was this? So it was the three of them. It was your guy, Peja, and then who was the other guy?
Big Z. So there were three:
Oh, it was
Dirk,
Zadaukas
Peja, and Zydrunas Ilgauskas. Were the
Elgak.
three.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
It's Lithuanian, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I had the exact same thought in my head. I think Scott was like, "I wonder if the other one's Big Z," and that was exactly what I had said out loud to myself while they were reading the question.
There
So
you go.
I was glad I came up with that.
All right. You have any other thoughts on this episode?
No, Orange. You
Hmm.
should have. It should have been. The only thing that Taco missed, I think, is that his theme should have been they are all colors that rhyme with orange.
All colors that rhyme
Yes.
with orange?
Yes,
Oh.
because orange is the only thing that rhymes with orange.
Did you see that whole rant that where Eminem went on a th thing about things that could rhyme with
Oh yeah,
orange and he came
like
up with like
door
15
hinge.
things? Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He's like, people are just not creative enough. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Okay.
It's no, it's just orange, not orange
There you go.
or hinge.
All right, well, that does it for the month of July. The episode's coming up here in the month of August. One's already dropped here this last Tuesday, which is episode 265. We were right to be thinking of White Guys, which had Tim Simplot, had Josh as the host, and had myself and Mason versus Marcus and Tim. Then episode 266, which will be out on the next Tuesday, the 13th of August, the biggest knob on his bat. That one had Ian Hollenberg as the guest host and had Scott and Jerry Philbin versus Eid and Taco. Oh, by the way, sorry, episode 264 is the episode where we first started talking about the Dabo's Delights.
Yes.
Or if you go to the website and use the code BTP, there will be legitimately some sort of discount code evidently coming up soon. But the owner of it, or somehow is
Yes.
associated with it, I think he's the owner, is Riley Shear. And Riley is going to be a guest on an episode that's going to be recording on the 10th of September. And so I'll be dropping in early October. So super excited about that because Riley is going to be sending all the people who are on the episode some delights, and we're all going to get a little taste test about that. And so I'm super excited about.
I am
He
too. I'm really
he
excited.
goes, this is Matt. You're the only one signed up to play in that game, and all of a sudden everyone was like, I'll do it." And then he asked my address, and I didn't know he was asking, since I moved, what my new address was. And so then he goes, he says, can you put your address in the spreadsheet? And I'm like, yeah, I'll do that later. And then I realized what he was asking about. And I'm like, oh, no, send it right now. Here we go. No, listen, like Gale Avenue, Oma. Okay. So Ian Hollenberg, 266, will be coming up here on the 13th, next Tuesday. On the 20th of August, we have episode 267, which is Michael Sarah, offensive coordinator. That's right. Marcus hosted that one with Taco and John Ross versus myself and Dave Brown. Dave Brown is the sommelier from Minnesota. And John Ross, I forget where John is from off the top of my head.
He's a
Um,
Bengals wide receiver.
yeah, there you go. Yeah. But it was funny because it was Taco and John, and that's when Dave Brown and I came up with we're both Taco John aficionados of the restaurant, and so then we came up with the because he is partially Mexican, so we thought it was okay if our team name could be a little bit of Mexican going on at Taco John's. Then we got on the 27th of August, episode 268, which is definitely a left-hander. Yes, yeah, it is. That reference is awesome. Eid hosted this one. This is the one I believe where you and I teamed up in this one, right? Oh no, it was
Oh no, it was
Josh and
Josh and
you
I. Yeah.
versus Matt, myself and Scott. And this is the one where it had the halftime where the Weird Al lyrics just went
Oh
off
my
the
God.
rail. Come on,
He
dude.
just like he cranked the Weird Al lyric bit up to 15.
And it was only because, I mean, Josh had with his wife had went on a road trip and had listened to Weird Al for hours. That patient, wonderful, amazing woman.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
have
she
not.
likes Weird Al because Josh is like, and he just loves Weird Al. So,
I have never contributed less in a round that my team got
oh
all of the
yeah,
questions
with
right.
Bombeck, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was just
right.
like, Josh, this is all you, man. I'm gonna go take a nap. Let me know when
There
this is
you
over.
go. All right, so that's coming up on the 27th of August, and so yeah. All right, anything else here before we start hitting that music?
No, look for the first episode in September, which also includes me, and then the first episode that we record in September, I will tell you all about delicious Hungarian snacks.
Yes, yeah, excited for that. So
Yeah.
awesome. All right, well, thanks everyone again for listening to the episode here of BTP OT for July of 2024. Yeah, Marcus wanted to be on. Hi, Marcus.
Hi, Marcus.
But
Sorry,
he,
Marcus.
unfortunately, he's dealing with this thing called work because we're recording this on Friday afternoon. Work
Who
smart,
does that?
whatever. So yeah,
Who even does that?
I'm still without a job. So if anyone's looking for a product owner or a product manager, hit me up. I'm not below that. So awesome.
It's
All right,
just
thanks,
BTP
Eric.
LinkedIn.
Thanks, Sam. Yeah, exactly. Bye, guys.